Greetings, fellow seekers of truth and unravelers of ancient enigmas. Welcome to Ancient Relics Keeper, where history's most profound secrets await your keen discovery. Soviet cosmonauts and the angels in space. In 1984, Soviet cosmonauts aboard the Salyut 7 space station experienced a phenomenon they could not explain. It began with a sudden burst of blinding light appearing outside the observation window. In the cold emptiness of space, the sight filled them with dread, for none of them could comprehend what was happening. Only minutes later, they were astonished to see the station seemingly surrounded by 7 colossal beings shaped like angels. Each one was as large as a Boeing 747 aircraft. These magnificent figures hovered silently outside for roughly 10 minutes before vanishing without a trace. Afterward, the cosmonauts tried to discuss the event, searching for a reasonable explanation. Yet, no one could provide a satisfactory answer. They reluctantly concluded that their minds must have deceived them. But this reasoning carried many contradictions. It seemed implausible that all of the cosmonauts could simultaneously suffer the exact same hallucination, witnessing an identical impossible vision. Still, they pushed the incident from their minds and continued with their mission. Interestingly, since 1995, the Solar and Heliospheric Observatory known as SOHO has recorded multiple massive anomalies moving around the Sunday. In released images, these shapes appear strikingly similar to enormous angels made of light. Some have connected them to the mysterious Salyut 7 incident, suggesting they might be the very same beings the cosmonauts once saw. NASA, however, maintains that these are nothing more than image processing errors. Certainly not the appearance of supernatural entities. Sometime later, the space station welcomed 3 new crew members. And once again, the mystery repeated itself. The Salyut 7 was bathed in a radiant halo, and the giant angelic beings reappeared. This time, the entire crew witnessed the extraordinary sight together. Yet the story was never widely publicized. The Soviet authorities showed little interest in their account and ordered strict silence. In the years that followed, the incident was officially explained as a gas leak that had caused a shared hallucination. But the question remains: could every single cosmonaut have truly seen the exact same illusion at the exact same time? The roar of space, another mystery that has never been fully explained, bears an unusual name: the space roar. In 2009, leading researchers at NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center sent a special instrument into the cosmos using a high-altitude balloon. This device, known as ARCADE, short for Absolute Radiometer for Cosmology, Astrophysics, and Diffuse Emissions, was designed to measure faint cosmic radiation for studies in cosmology and astrophysics. But when ARCADE began operating in space, instead of detecting the faint signals scientists expected, it picked up an enormous volume of radio waves that researchers dubbed the cosmic roar. The signal strength was 6 times higher than the normal levels humanity had predicted. Even more astonishing, its source was traced to a galaxy 2.5 million light-years away from Earth. The mystery of dark matter. The world around us is filled with puzzles we cannot yet explain. But perhaps nothing confounds science more than the nature of the universe itself. Among its greatest enigmas, dark matter stands out: pervasive, invisible, and challenging everything we think we know. So, what exactly is dark matter? To this day, humanity has no definitive answer. No one can say with certainty. Yet, scientists believe it makes up more than 80% of the universe's total mass. The strange part is that it cannot be directly observed by any means. Its presence is only detected when researchers study the movements of stars. Clearly, there is a massive unseen weight holding the cosmos together. Without it, galaxies would fly apart. From this realization, the concept of dark matter emerged, opening one of the most fundamental questions about existence itself. Understanding what it is, why it cannot be detected, and the strange properties it might possess could be the key to unlocking answers about the universe and humanity's place within it. A new theory on the origin and nature of dark matter has recently surfaced. Focusing on the existence of a mysterious particle, researchers suggest that the key to dark matter may lie in such a particle, and that this particle has somehow entered our universe. Some of the greatest scientific minds have proposed that dark matter could be explained by studying the dark photon. These hypothetical particles are similar to ordinary photons, but are linked to a form of dark electromagnetism. Physicist Ron Terrence explains. We still don't know what dark matter really is. For decades, the leading candidate was the weakly interacting massive particle, but it now looks like that idea has almost been ruled out. This is a new type of dark matter, and it also presents a completely new way to search for it. The greatest challenge is that our current technology cannot detect this particle. Still, the new theory is being taken seriously by some physicists. The strongest evidence for the existence of dark matter lies in the fact that many galaxies would have broken apart instead of continuing to rotate if it didn't exist. Researchers believe that once the riddle of dark matter is solved, it could unlock a deeper understanding of the universe itself. The mystery of Skinwalker Ranch. For hundreds of years, people have spoken of a massive creature in the sky, a giant bird known as the Thunderbird. Witnesses describe it as an enormous bird soaring high above, closely resembling creatures from Native American legends. Some even speculate that it could be a surviving species of pterosaur from prehistoric times. The Thunderbird is said to be as tall as a grown man with a wingspan of more than 5 m. Cryptozoologists have calculated that a bird of such size might ride powerful storm winds to maintain altitude, much like modern eagles use mountain drafts to glide. While ordinary birds would be torn apart or blown off course in such storms, the Thunderbird's immense size and weight could help it hold its path. One of the most famous places for Thunderbird sightings is the Bridgewater Triangle in southeastern Massachusetts. Covering roughly 500 kilometers, native tribes in the area once whispered about this giant bird. Another hotspot is Skinwalker Ranch, famed for its supernatural activity. Here, witnesses have reported seeing the shadow of a colossal bird crossing the sky, coinciding with sightings of UFOs, human-like canines, and even poltergeist activity. One witness recalled, "While driving near Skinwalker Ranch, we saw a massive shadow blocking the road. We stopped, looked up, and saw a giant bird. My friend and I guessed its wingspan was at least 5 m. We'd never seen anything like it, and we still can't explain it." And Market was after an imposter in Market in Utah. Skinwalker Ranch has become an icon of the paranormal. Spanning 500 acres, it has been the site of UFO reports, cattle mutilations, glowing orbs, and bizarre humanoid creatures. According to native legend, a skinwalker is a dark sorcerer capable of transforming into animals or mimicking voices to lure prey. In the 1990s, the Sherman family who lived there reported terrifying events: glowing blue orbs, portals opening in the sky, and an immortal wolf-like creature that shrugged off bullets. Witnesses even saw an orange doorway appear in midair from which small craft emerged. The ranch remains a hot spot for paranormal research. Skeptics dismiss it as myth, while believers claim it is one of the most active supernatural sites on Earth. The mysteries of Jupiter. When people think of Jupiter, the first image that comes to mind is its colossal red storm. This great red spot has been swirling for hundreds of years, and to this day, scientists still cannot explain the origin of its unusual crimson hue. For decades, experiments have attempted to replicate its color. Results suggest that heat and radiation could play a key role in altering the compounds within Jupiter's cloud layers. But then came a shocking revelation. NASA warned that the Great Red Spot might not last much longer. New data shows it is shrinking and could vanish entirely within this century. In 2017, the Juno probe was launched to Jupiter and sent back the most detailed images ever taken of the Great Red Spot. The close-up shots left scientists struck by the storm's grandeur and the complexity of its swirling structure. But another discovery from Jupiter stirred even more concern. NASA detected a massive dark hole appearing within the cloud layers, as if a mysterious chasm had opened from nowhere. Once again, Juno captured this strange sight. Scientists described the dark spot as sitting at the heart of a swirling vortex with an apparent depth that defied comprehension. What is the dark spot on Jupiter? So far, no one has an answer. The images came from Juno's most recent close flyby when the probe was roughly 16,000 km above the clouds. For now, researchers continue working to unravel the mystery. Year after year, humanity seems to face yet another unanswered question from the vastness of space. It's hardly surprising that science cannot explain them all. The universe is simply too immense, far beyond the reach of human understanding. The mysteries of the ocean and the vanishing islands. The ocean has always stirred human curiosity, perhaps because it is so vast. We have mapped only a small fraction of the underwater world. And it is often said that we know more about the moon than we do about the floor of Earth's seas. One of the most astonishing phenomena of the modern era is the disappearance of islands. Strangely, many of these islands once appeared on old maps. Yet, when explorers search for them today, they are nowhere to be found. The phenomenon became widely known thanks to the BBC World Service documentary Mexico's Missing Island. According to mid-9th century maps, an island once lay off the northern coast of the Yucatan Peninsula. But in a survey conducted in 1997, the island was found to be completely non-existent. Some researchers once claimed to have solid proof of the island's existence. But those documents later vanished as well, fueling suspicion of interference by the Central Intelligence Agency. Many theories suggest the island was deliberately erased as if it had never existed. Still, numerous pieces of evidence indicate it was once real. Another island that mysteriously disappeared is Emerald. In December of 1812, it was first recorded by the British ship Emerald, from which it took its name. First, some believed Emerald Island was simply an exaggeration by the captain to gain fame. However, the exact coordinates provided by William Elliot indicated a raised section of the seabed, hinting at the presence of an island peak. Yet by 1840, during a United States expedition, no trace could be found, and Emerald Island was subsequently removed from nautical charts. Off the coast of Cyprus, a massive net-like structure was discovered on the seabed in 2011. It spanned 97 kilometers across and 104 kilometers in length, featuring straight lines and right angles like the streets of a city. Initially, many thought it was just a satellite error, but later analysis revealed the structure had real depth and height. Some theories suggest it could be the remains of a lost civilization, while skeptics insist it is merely a natural geological formation. Even so, similar discoveries in other oceans have fueled speculation that Earth's seabed may conceal long-forgotten chapters of history. Mass disappearances in history. It's not every day that we hear about entire groups of people vanishing. Yet, throughout history, there have been many such events, each steeped in mystery, tragedy, and unending curiosity. There are civilizations, villages, and communities that disappeared long ago. Some of these cases have puzzled scholars for centuries with no answers to what truly happened. Migration or ritual sacrifice is often suggested as the cause. But there are cultures that simply vanished without leaving a single trace. No one knows whether they were wiped out or simply abandoned their homeland. Many theories link these events to supernatural phenomena, but no conclusive evidence has ever been found. What is strange is that some of these vanished civilizations once possessed advanced knowledge and capabilities far beyond what we might imagine. Disappearances in national parks. It is curious that the number of people who go missing in national parks around the world is unusually high, far beyond the rate in other areas with similar visitor density. Skeptics often argue this is to be expected as parks are vast and dangerous for those lacking experience. But many cases defy such simple explanations. Countless people enter a park and are never seen again. In some cases, these individuals were experienced hikers. fully prepared with planned routes, backup gear, emergency phones, and having notified loved ones in advance. Yet, when search teams arrived, no trace could be found. The Nevada Triangle, between Las Vegas, Reno, and Fresno, lies an area known as the Nevada Triangle. If the Bermuda Triangle is famous worldwide, this landlocked counterpart is equally steeped in mystery. Scientists report that roughly 2,000 aircraft have disappeared here. Even more unsettling are the numerous cases of people vanishing without a trace. Some witnesses have shared bizarre encounters, like a woman who met an old man who appeared suddenly to give her directions only for him to vanish moments later, as if he had never existed. In addition, there are countless reports of mysterious lights in the sky. Locals claim to have seen glowing aerial objects ranging in size from 6 to 20 m. One witness said a craft once followed them even after they got into their car. An encounter that left them plagued by nightmares for weeks. The ocean and marine life disasters. The ocean is the lifeblood of our blue planet. Yet its vastness means there is still so much we do not understand. Covering more than 70% of Earth's surface, the deep sea holds secrets that remain far out of reach. In recent years, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, has used seafloor scanning technology to make extraordinary discoveries. But recently they announced troubling news. At least 280 dolphins have washed ashore along U.S. coasts since February. Alarmingly, this number is triple the normal rate, and about 90% of them were already dead. The cause remains a mystery. One theory links it to the lingering effects of past oil spills, particularly the BP disaster of 2010. NOAA reports that the spill severely impacted the health of marine mammals and many other ecosystems. Lung problems, blood abnormalities, and overall debilitation have been documented, making this the largest mass dolphin die-off ever recorded. A researcher noted, "We've seen some signs of health improvement, but recovery is slow. Reproduction rates in the most heavily affected areas are still below normal." It's not just dolphins. Small sea turtles are also facing mass death in Cape Cod Bay. During extreme weather events, countless swimming turtles have suddenly frozen solid. More than 80 frozen turtles were taken to the Massachusetts Wildlife Sanctuary, but none survived. In total, 173 turtles died, while an even greater number were found in critical condition. 227 turtles were brought in on the brink of freezing, but only 54 survived. This past winter alone, more than 400 turtles washed ashore. A sanctuary representative said, "We've recorded over 400 cold-stunned turtles this year, and most of them were completely frozen." One of the main causes was ocean temperatures around Cape Cod, dropping to 19 degrees Fahrenheit, cold enough to kill vast numbers of marine animals. This is not the first time it has happened. In 2010, sea turtles avoided these waters due to extreme cold. But as the climate warmed, they expanded their range, and sudden temperature swings have left many unable to adapt in time. Today, NOAA continues working with conservation groups to save whatever survivors remain. The Blacaya children. Texas is known for many strange legends, but perhaps the most haunting is the story of the Blacaya children. A man in Austin once recounted seeing two boys standing outside a store late at night. When they turned to look at him, their eyes were completely black. At first, he thought it was just a prank. But exactly 1 week later, the same children appeared at his front door. For months, they returned, sometimes even knocking on his door. Gripped by fear, the man never dared to let them in. Their bottomless black eyes and eerie persistence haunted him, leaving him with no explanation for who or what they really were. Over the past 3 decades, many others have claimed encounters with these Blacaya children. They are described as carrying a heavy oppressive energy, instilling dread in anyone who faces them. Witnesses say these children often appear when a person is alone, and they seem to have only one goal: to find a way inside. They usually offer excuses like wanting to use the phone or asking for water to persuade the homeowner. Yet, their soulless black eyes are enough to send chills down anyone's spine. The Gates of Unsolved. Some of the least explored places on Earth are mountain ranges. Rugged terrain, dense vegetation, and countless natural obstacles make them difficult to reach. Straddling the border between Germany and Salzburg is the Unsolved Range, a place with a far more chilling name, the Gates of Unsolved. For centuries, the mountains have been rumored to be home to mysterious entities. Tales speak of strange beasts appearing here, and some even believe a lost civilization might be hiding within. Those who have ventured near the range often admit to sensing a dark presence, and even skeptics have reported experiencing events they could not explain. One unsettling story tells of dwarf-like beings. They appear almost human, striking up conversation with travelers and coaxing them toward their dwellings. But before long, their true intentions become clear. They lead their victims away from safe paths and into dangerous situations. Many believe these creatures are akin to the duende of Latin American and Filipino folklore, supernatural beings, or trickster spirits known for meddling with humans. The name Gates of Unsolved also stems from accounts of mysterious disappearances. Some say people have walked up into the mountains only to never return. Others have lost hours of time with no memory of what happened or have been transported dozens of kilometers away in only a few short minutes. The region is also thick with UFO reports. One theory suggests the area is a kind of cosmic wormhole, and that missing time is the result of abductions. Witnesses have described glowing orbs circling the mountains. One woman even reported a luminous purple sphere that repeatedly darted toward her face until she left the area. Another phenomenon frequently encountered here is the shadow figure. Dark human-shaped forms that move like liquid. They appear without warning and are considered supernatural manifestations. Today, Unsolved is regarded as one of the most mysterious places on the planet. The Hoia Baciu Forest of Transylvania. In the heart of Transylvania lies Hoia Baciu Forest. Long shrouded in eerie legends, locals tell stories of blood-drinking spirits lurking in its streams for centuries. At the forest center lies a strange circular clearing nearly invisible from above. Many believe it to be a gateway to another dimension, one from which no one ever returns. Visitors who approach the forest center often report overwhelming anxiety, even nausea. The number of mass panic incidents here is unusually high. Witnesses have claimed to see a dense black mass deep in the woods like a shadow that drains the life from those who look at it. Others have seen glowing orbs drifting silently among the trees at night. These orbs range in size from 30 centimeters to 2 m, shining brightly yet emitting no sound. Locals have been familiar with them for decades. Strangely, many visitors connect these experiences to alien encounters. The sudden waves of fear in Hoia are said to mirror the feelings people have when a UFO appears nearby. This has led to speculation that the forest may be a meeting place for extraterrestrial beings. Still, science has yet to explain the unease and dread people feel here. Some suggest it is merely psychological, a kind of mass hysteria passed down through generations. The vanishing Inuit village of Angiuni. One of the most mysterious events in North American history is the disappearance of the Inuit village of Angiuni, a story that has fueled decades of speculation. The village sat along Angiuni Lake on the Kazan River in Canada. The region was already steeped in legend with tales of malevolent forest spirits and the fearsome Wendigo. But the most haunting legend is the sudden complete disappearance of all its inhabitants. In November of 1930, a Canadian fur trapper named Joe Label sought shelter for the night. He remembered the familiar Inuit settlement by the lake, once bustling with tents, huts, and friendly residents. But upon arriving, he was shocked to find it utterly deserted. There were no people, no barking dogs, no signs of life at all. The villagers had vanished, leaving behind food, tools, and even their sled dogs. There were no signs of violence, no evidence of a struggle. Around 30 men, women, and children had simply disappeared from the world. People who once lived, worked, and played together were gone without explanation. Researchers have long tried to find a rational answer, but none has ever been found. If they were taken, there should have been evidence. Instead, all that remains is an unfillable void. To this day, the mystery has never been solved. A terrifying encounter. One woman recounted her chilling experience. When she was 16, her parents went on vacation, leaving her alone to look after their house. The home was isolated in the quiet countryside, and she had never witnessed anything unusual there. But on one fateful night, everything changed. At around 9 o'clock, there was a knock at the door. She assumed it was a neighbor, but when she opened it, 2 unfamiliar children stood before her. Immediately, a sense of dread washed over her. One of the children asked for a glass of water. She refused and asked if they needed anything else. That was when they pulled down their hoods, revealing deep black eyes she would never forget. Terrified, she slammed the door shut, locked it, and called her mother. For the next week, the children returned once more, but she never opened the door again. Even today, she still wonders what might have happened if she had let them inside. Rediscovering creatures thought to be extinct. History has shown that species believed to have vanished tens of millions of years ago can sometimes survive in remote corners of the world. The coelacanth, a lobe-finned fish thought to have gone extinct 80 million years ago, was discovered alive in 1938. Examples like this have led many to believe that the Congo or the Amazon may still hide prehistoric creatures. To this day, Mob and Cosmonauts remain in the realm of legend mysteries hovering between folklore and science. One African legend speaks of the Cosmonauts, a flying reptile-like creature with a wingspan of up to 30 m. Its name means breaker of boats or breaker of bones, a reflection of tales describing it attacking people along rivers and waterways. In the 1910s and 20s, European explorers wrote about giant flying creatures in Africa, and even in Papua New Guinea. Skeptics suggest these were simply large birds misidentified. But local inhabitants still believe that Cosmonauts is a living relic from the age of dinosaurs. The lost city of Nia, Pompeii of the East. For centuries, historians have uncovered many secrets of the past. Yet, countless cities remain hidden beneath the sea, buried under sand or lost in dense jungles. Some civilizations have disappeared entirely, leaving no explanation behind. In the Taklamakan Desert on the southern edge of the Tin Basin lies an archaeological site known as Nia, often called the Pompeii of the East. No one knows what happened to its people or why they fled the city in apparent panic. The residents of Nia vanished, leaving behind dogs, food, clothing, and all their daily possessions. The city fell silent as if its entire population had fled from an invisible threat. It was rediscovered in 1901 by a British archaeologist, and its name was taken from a smaller nearby town on the Nia River. Records show that the ancient city stretched 25 kilometers from north to south, and was once part of the ancient kingdom of Jingu. Excavated relics reveal that Nia was an important stop along the southern route of the Silk Road. At its peak, the city held only 480 households, roughly 360 residents and 500 soldiers. Given its location on the southern Silk Road, Nia likely provided vital supplies to passing caravans, making it an indispensable trading post. Archaeological evidence also confirms its cultural significance with depictions of flying dragons, Buddhist art, and numerous grave goods. Sadly, to this day, no one knows what forced the people of Nia to abandon everything and vanish forever. Many theories exist, but no definitive proof. Researchers believe this mystery may never be solved. The ghost town beneath Lake Buchanan in Texas. Lake Buchanan is one of the largest bodies of water in the central region. Today, it is a popular destination for fishing and camping. But deep beneath its surface lies a forgotten ghost town. The village was founded in the 1880s, but it was sacrificed when a hydroelectric dam was built. More than 300 graves were relocated and residents were forced to leave their homes. They were told the lake would take 8 years to fill. But heavy rains submerged it within just a few months. In 2009, drought dropped the water level by 7.5 m, revealing the ruins of the town and drawing thousands of curious visitors. Egyptian mathematics and the missing pyramid capstone. One of the most remarkable achievements of ancient Egyptian civilization was its mathematics. The Egyptians developed complex systems that the rest of the world would not rediscover and apply to architecture and problem-solving for thousands of years. For a long time, historians believed Egyptian mathematics was primitive. But recent findings suggest their knowledge far exceeded expectations. And scholars are still working to grasp its full extent. The pyramids of Egypt have always been wrapped in mystery. The Great Pyramid of Giza, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, remains particularly astounding. Its immense size, construction precision, and the labor required to build it are beyond imagination, even by modern standards. Thanks to advanced scanning technology, archaeologists have detected chemical compounds inside the pyramid's ventilation shafts, suggesting it may once have produced hydrogen, hinting that the pyramid's function might have extended beyond serving as a tomb. Another lesser-known mystery is the disappearance of the Great Pyramid's capstone. The black granite tip known as the pyramidion has long been missing, reducing the pyramid's original height by several meters. One theory suggests that Imhotep himself ordered it hidden within the structure. Over a century ago, a black granite pyramidion was discovered near the site, fueling speculation that the real capstone might still lie somewhere nearby. Ancient cave art in India. A few years ago, the Times of India reported a strange discovery inside a cave. Dr. Baggett and his research team found drawings resembling extraterrestrial beings believed to be more than 10,000 years old. He urged both NASA and the Indian Space Research Organization to investigate. The images stunned archaeologists. Alongside depictions of humans and animals were drawings of creatures unknown to India, such as kangaroos and giraffes. Most mysterious of all were figures appearing to wear spacesuits accompanied by shapes resembling flying saucers and scenes of abduction. Dr. Baggett remarked, "These findings suggest that prehistoric humans may have once seen or imagined beings from other worlds." They continue to spark curiosity among both the public and the scientific community. Some scholars consider this evidence of an advanced civilization once present, much like the astronaut-like carvings found in Guatemala. Skeptics, however, argue it is simply an ancient artistic style, and that modern observers are reading too much into it. This story calls to mind the Nazca lines in Peru, stretching over 80 kilometers, etched into massive shapes of animals and geometric patterns, many spanning hundreds of meters, and visible only from above, created in a time when humans had no knowledge of flight. They remain a source of wonder for archaeologists to this day. Legends of giants and the stone blocks of Russia. Across the world, stories persist of giants who once walked the earth. Many legends claim they were the builders of humanity's greatest structures. In Siberia, locals have long spoken of massive stone blocks believed to be the work of ancient giants. These colossal stones weigh anywhere from 1,000 to 4,000 tons stacked to heights of over 36 m. What astonishes researchers is their smooth surfaces and precisely cut angles, signs that advanced tools may have been used. Some scholars compare them to the Cyclopean walls of Meissen in Greece, thought to have been built by the giants of myth more than 3,000 years ago. Skeptics argue that humans could have constructed them, just as they did with the Great Pyramid of Giza. Yet, the question remains, were these truly the work of ordinary people or of extraordinary beings beyond recorded history? The mysterious Black Mountain of Australia in Queensland, a little over 25 kilometers from Cooktown, lies Black Mountain, a place notorious for strange phenomena. Locals tell of people vanishing without a trace of strange winds and ghostly silhouettes flickering in the distance. Some claim to have seen the figure of an ancient medicine man standing atop the rocks as if his spirit still lingers there. Farmers have led cattle across the mountain only for both man and beast to disappear. Pilots say their navigation equipment malfunctions when flying overhead. Hikers feel invisible hands pulling them into the ground. Even wild animals avoid the place entirely. One theory suggests the mountain contains caves that swallow people. Others speak of a skinwalker-like creature able to take human form to lure travelers. Sometimes it appears as a man over 2 m tall with unnaturally long arms. Other times as a shifting black mass that vanishes when approached. Whether truth or legend, Black Mountain remains shrouded in mystery. The Large Hadron Collider and a new particle. The Large Hadron Collider, LHC, is the most powerful particle accelerator in the world. Operational since September 10, 2008. It consists of a 27 km ring of superconducting magnets buried 17 miles beneath the Swiss-French border. The LHC has produced groundbreaking achievements, including the discovery of the Higgs boson. After upgrades, it enabled scientists to study the subatomic world in greater detail. In a series of experiments, they detected a strange particle with twice the mass of a carbon atom. The discovery baffled physicists because existing models could not account for it. The Director General of CERN stated, "This will open up opportunities to answer the most fundamental questions in physics." Personally, if we could recreate dark matter particles in proton collisions, it would be a monumental achievement. Ancient bacteria and the quest for eternal life. Since the dawn of humanity, discoveries have shaped our world. One of the strangest recent findings comes from Russian scientist Dr. Anatoly Bouchkov, who injected himself with bacteria believed to be 3.5 million years old. This microorganism named Bacillus F was discovered in the Siberian permafrost. After the injection, Bouchkov claimed he felt healthier, more energetic, and did not fall ill for 2 years. Tests on animals showed increased cellular activity and exceptional immune responses. When studying the Yakut people of Siberia, scientists noted their unusually long lifespans and suspected that through local water sources, they may have unknowingly ingested the bacteria. But concerns remain if harmful ancient bacteria are released due to climate change. Humanity will have no defense. The World Health Organization warns that it would take at least 12 months to develop a vaccine if a deadly prehistoric pathogen were unleashed. This raises a troubling question. Should humanity continue experimenting with these ancient organisms? Or are we opening a dangerous Pandora's box? MIT's Doomsday Prediction. In 1973, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology developed a computer program to model global sustainability. But the results were shocking. It predicted that by the year 2140, life on Earth would come to an end. The program called World 1 warned that unchecked global expansion would destroy humanity. According to its projections, by around 2020, the planet's condition would become critical. Without change, quality of life would fall to zero. Populations would be severely affected and numbers would drop below early 20th century levels. Between 2140 and 2150, human civilization as we know it would disappear. Some scientists believe there is still time to reverse the trend. But if humanity fails to act, this grim forecast could become reality. Nikola Tesla's vision of energy and matter. Nikola Tesla, the brilliant inventor who held more than 300 patents, continues to command humanity's admiration. A little-known interview recently surfaced, offering new insight into his personal beliefs and his almost mystical approach to science. Tesla claimed he could control his own sleep, reaching a state he called enlightenment. He believed that everything was made of matter, and that once energy was created, it could never be destroyed. Tesla once declared, "I want to light up the entire Earth. There is enough electric power to turn it into a second Sunday. Light would encircle the equator like the rings around Saturn." Humanity is not ready for something so great and so good. Life exists in countless forms, and it is the scientist's duty to find them in every form of matter. Many of his theories remain unanswered even today, leaving modern science puzzled by the scope of his vision. A massive iceberg and new life in the ocean. Researchers recently reported the calving of a massive iceberg from the Larsen Ice Shelf. It holds twice the volume of Lake Erie and spans more than 6,000 km. The section of ocean beneath it had not seen sunlight for 120,000 years. A British research team had planned an expedition but was forced to cancel due to thick ice. Later, a German team continued the mission and succeeded in collecting samples. They discovered countless tiny organisms, including entirely new species. This discovery is a stark reminder that humanity has explored only 5% of the world's oceans, while science continues to document nearly 2,000 new species each year. Mystery beneath the Baltic Sea. In 2011, during a search operation in the Baltic Sea, divers discovered a strange structure on the seabed. It measured 60 meters across and stood atop a pillar-like base. As they approached, equipment began to malfunction. Compasses spun wildly, and electronic devices went dead. Some divers reported seeing stair-like formations, and even a circular black hole leading deep inside. The structure features 90 degrees angles, bizarre round holes, and an arrangement of stones that appears anything but natural. Some scientists suggest it may be a remnant of glacial activity or a meteorite impact, while others believe it could be evidence of something entirely different, something far beyond current human understanding. MUA. The Interstellar Mystery. On October 19, 2017, astronomers detected a strange object passing through the solar system. It was named Oumuamua, the first recorded interstellar visitor. The object was cigar-shaped, about 800 m long and 80 m wide. Initially thought to be an asteroid, it soon displayed unusual behavior, a powerful non-gravitational acceleration that could not be explained by gravity alone. Some theorists proposed it might be an alien probe, while most of the scientific community leaned toward a natural explanation. Yet the true nature of Oumuamua remains unknown. By January 2018, it had traveled too far to study further, leaving behind only data and unanswered questions. The Great Filter and the Search for Life. Humanity has made great strides in building telescopes, launching probes, and scanning the skies for extraterrestrial intelligence. Yet, no signal has ever come back. One prominent theory is the Great Filter, the idea that there is an invisible barrier preventing civilizations from reaching interstellar travel. Either intelligent life destroys itself before reaching that stage, or life itself is simply too rare to endure for long. One world that has drawn interest is Barnard Star B, which may have a subsurface heat layer capable of sustaining life similar to Jupiter's moon Europa, believed to have a liquid ocean beneath its thick ice shell. The question remains, is life common throughout the universe? Or are we among the rare few to have passed through the Great Filter? Supernatural sensitivity in newborns. Believe it or not, for many years, countless strange photographs and stories have involved infants. Paranormal researchers suggest that newborns are particularly sensitive to unseen energies. It is believed that babies exist in a kind of in-between state closer to the spirit world, making them more able to sense the vibrations around them. As they grow, this connection gradually fades. Some theories even suggest that before birth, babies dwell in an intermediate realm between the womb and the world of spirits, allowing them to see things that adults cannot. This is why many children claim to see supernatural entities when they are very young. The veil between the two worlds is still thin, permitting them to glimpse the invisible. While this remains a theory, paranormal experts point to certain signs that a child may be sensing a spirit's presence, staring intently into a corner of the room, smiling mysteriously at empty space, becoming fascinated with something unseen. or suddenly laughing or crying when alone. For years, parents have captured such strange occurrences on baby monitors. One mother recounted her experience. At about 1:30 in the morning, I heard a man's voice on the monitor repeating the words, "I'm here." I ran into my son's room and saw his eyes wide open, his hand pointing toward the corner, saying, "The tall man in the corner is looking for me." All the windows were locked and no one else was in the house. From that night on, he only slept in my room. And the Sanger, I would have likely said mysterious lights on Ceres. Ceres, the largest object in the asteroid belt, has long fascinated astronomers. In 2006, it was reclassified as a dwarf planet named after the Roman goddess of agriculture. In 2015, NASA's Dawn spacecraft captured images of strange bright spots inside Okator crater. By June of 2018, Dawn had entered a low orbit, returning more than 1,000 high-resolution images. These images revealed deposits of mineral salts standing out against the dark surface, suggesting that Ceres has geological activity and may once have harbored or still harbor subsurface oceans. Dr. Andreas Nathis, the mission's lead investigator, stated, "The data far exceeded our expectations. These salt deposits provide huge clues about current activity on Ceres and will help us understand how they formed." At is no 5 long though small, Ceres has proven to be a geologically active world, offering hope for the possibility of a hidden ecosystem. The mystery of the human soul. For centuries, philosophers and scientists have debated the nature of the soul. Recent research suggests that human consciousness may not vanish after death. Dr. Stuart Hameroff and Professor Roger Penrose proposed the Orker theory, which suggests that the brain functions as a biological computer, and that consciousness is a quantum program operating within it. Upon death, this quantum information does not disappear but returns to the universe, meaning the soul does not die but transforms. This aligns with the belief that consciousness belongs to the universe itself, created by it and returning to it when life ends. Fairy collision and a mysterious creature. Near Japan's Sato Island, a ferry unexpectedly collided with an unidentified giant sea creature. 80 passengers were injured, 13 of them seriously. A 15 centimeters crack appeared at the stern, believed to be the point of impact. The most likely explanation is that the ferry struck a whale, yet no carcass was found. The incident recalls the legend of organism 46b, a 14-tentacled Antarctic octopus rumored to paralyze prey. Though unproven, the story has fueled speculation about colossal sea creatures. Some researchers link it to giant squid over 30 meters long, while wartime accounts from World War II speak of one that may have reached 53 m. The mysterious lights of Marfa. For decades, the town of Marfa, Texas, has been famous for its strange glowing orbs known as the Marfa lights. They have been reported since the days of the first settlers, appearing to flicker and then vanish as people approach. Today, they are often seen near Route 67 east of Marfa. These glowing spheres appear nightly, sometimes faint, sometimes brilliantly moving across the landscape. Skeptics claim they are nothing more than car headlights or atmospheric reflections, but locals insist the lights existed long before automobiles. Some theories link the phenomenon to UFOs, while others suggest they could be ball lightning, rare atmospheric events that create glowing spheres of electrical energy. NASA has even speculated that they might emit radiation, including gamma rays and cosmic rays. Despite decades of study, the Mara lights remain unexplained. The subsurface ocean of Europa. Europa, the brightest moon of Jupiter, has long been considered a prime candidate for extraterrestrial life. Its surface is covered in ice, fractured like a colossal sheet of glass. Beneath this 5 kilometers thick ice may lie an ocean up to 50 kilometers deep. The Hubble Space Telescope has recorded plumes of water erupting from Europa's surface. Possible evidence of a hidden ocean. If it exists, chemical reactions between the water and the rocky core could create a habitat for life. With more than 100 billion planets in the Milky Way and trillions of worlds beyond, Europa is only one small piece of the puzzle. The search for life is no longer about if, but where. Tyrannosaurus rex. The king of dinosaurs. Tyrannosaurus rex remains the most famous predatory dinosaur. With its immense size and a bite force of up to 13,000 lbs. It was the most fearsome land predator to ever live. Living in the late Cretaceous period, T. rex could grow up to 13 m long and weigh 7 tons. Its small arms were still strong enough to lift 400 pounds. Though its hunting power was concentrated in its massive jaws, scientists continue to debate its true appearance. Fossil evidence shows that close relatives of T-Rex had feathers, suggesting it may have been partially feathered and partially scaled. Another mystery is whether its teeth were always exposed, as often depicted, or covered by lips and soft tissue. Extraterrestrial mineral in Israel. Recently, in the mountains near Carmel, Israel, a mining company discovered a mineral previously unknown to science. It was named carmelite, a gemstone rarer and harder than diamond, shimmering with hues of orange, brown, black, blue, and green. What sparked controversy was the possibility that its origin could be extraterrestrial, as similar minerals have only been found in meteorites. Carmeltazite formed about 80 miles beneath the Earth's surface during volcanic eruptions in the Cretaceous period. The discovery not only introduced a new treasure to the gemstone market, but also opened a geological mystery that remains unsolved: the Great Pyramid's massive swivel door. Some theories suggest that the Great Pyramid of Giza once featured a massive swivel door weighing up to 20 tons. It could be pushed open from the inside with minimal effort, yet was almost invisible from the outside because it fit seamlessly into the surrounding stone. When explorers first entered the pyramid, they discovered this door. Later, thermal scans using modern technology in 2015 revealed 3 heat anomalies at the base of the pyramid, raising suspicions of hidden passages or ancient technology still functioning. Each block of the pyramid weighs 2.5 tons with more than 300,000 blocks in total to complete construction in 20 years. Workers would have had to place 315 blocks every day. Even more astonishing, the mortar they used has a chemical composition modern science still cannot replicate. The infinite universe and the multiverse theory. Before his death in 2018, Stephen Hawking warned that Earth might remain habitable for only about 100 more years. According to him, climate change, overpopulation, and technological limits would eventually force humanity to abandon the planet in order to survive. In his final work, he proposed that the universe might be a three-dimensional projection, challenging the multiverse theory with a simpler unified model, whether three-dimensional or part of a multiverse. These ideas expanded the boundaries of cosmology and reminded humanity of the fragility of existence. Scientists admit that we may never fully grasp the scale of the universe. The Milky Way alone spans tens of billions of light-years, while the solar system orbits its center at 830,000 km/h, taking 230 million years to complete a single revolution. Within the observable universe, there are between 200 billion and 2 trillion galaxies. Some physicists argue that the probability of a universe forming with such perfect laws is so small that it makes more sense to believe all possibilities exist simultaneously. This is the basis of the multiverse theory. Countless universes existing in parallel, each with its own outcome, laws, and history. Quantum mechanics with its uncertainty principle and virtual particles only fuels the debate further. The prophecies of Baba Vanga. Another figure often mentioned in discussions of the apocalypse is Baba Vanga. Blinded as a child, she later became famous for her predictions. Politicians, scientists, philosophers, and even business leaders sought her out for guidance. Among her prophecies, she claimed that by the year 2097, humans would discover a way to stop and reverse aging. She also spoke of an era when humans would become partly machine, when human-animal hybrids would exist, when signals would come from outer space, and when an artificial sun powered by nuclear energy would be created. What set Babanganga apart was that some of her predictions appeared to come true, fueling belief that she truly possessed supernatural abilities. The Hesteland Lights of Norway. Since the early 1980s, residents of Heston, Norway have reported strange lights in the sky. In some weeks, dozens of glowing orbs appeared, shining purple, orange, or green. In 1983, the Hesteland project was launched to study the phenomenon. In just a few weeks, more than 60 lights were recorded. Yet their origin remained a mystery. Witnesses described the glowing orbs hovering for minutes, darting across the valley, or pulsing with strange rhythms. Skeptics believe they are atmospheric phenomena, such as ball lightning. But the frequency and unusual behavior make that explanation less convincing. To this day, the lights still appear a mystery yet to be solved. The ancient rocket manuscript of Cebu. In 1961, a Romanian engineer discovered a manuscript describing advanced rocket principles written centuries before such technology existed. The Cebu manuscript, compiled by Conrad Hose between 1559 and 1570, detailed designs for multi-stage rockets, liquid fuel, and triangular fins. The manuscript spans more than 450 pages and demonstrates an astonishing understanding of rocketry far ahead of its time. Many researchers believe Hose was the first to record these ideas. But the question remains: where did this knowledge come from? Could there be other manuscripts lost or deliberately destroyed? Mysterious crop circle and tall beings in Wiltshire. In 2009, an off-duty police officer claimed he saw 3 tall beings in white robes examining a crop circle near Silbury Hill, England. They were about 2 m tall with blonde hair and surrounded by a strange static hum. As he approached, the 3 figures vanished. The site is not far from Stonehenge, a place already steeped in mystery and ancient civilization theories. While skeptics dismiss the sighting, paranormal researchers consider it part of a long history of UFO encounters in the region. Percy Fawcett's encounters in the Amazon. Explorer Percy Fawcett, famous for his expeditions in South America, reported several bizarre experiences in the Amazon rainforest. In 1914, he described a strange tribe called the Maricoxi hair-covered beings who communicated through growls and used bows and arrows. Some believe they were remnants of Neanderthals, while others connect them to the Sasquatch legend. Fawcett also encountered a massive anaconda nearly 19 m long. Local inhabitants confirmed that they too had seen similar giant snakes lurking in the region. The USS Stein monster. In the 1970s, the U.S. Navy ship USS Stein returned to port with its sonar dome severely damaged. Engineers discovered massive claw marks far larger than anything known to be caused by any squid species. The damage covered more than 10% of the sonar dome, suggesting that the creature responsible could have been over 30 m long. Some speculated it was a giant squid, but the scale of the destruction pointed to something far greater. The incident only fueled the legend of sea monsters lurking in the deep. The haunted restaurant and the Robert doll. Some places seem to hold on to spirits long after the dead have gone. In Vancouver, the Old Spaghetti Factory restaurant is famous for the ghost of a streetcar conductor. Guests and staff say he still lingers near the streetcar on display inside. It's not just locations. Objects can also be haunted. Robert the doll, crafted in the early 20th century, is infamous for allegedly moving on its own, changing facial expressions, and bringing misfortune to anyone who mocks it. Today, it resides in a museum in Key West, where many visitors still claim to feel its unsettling presence. The Yellowstone supervolcano. Beneath Yellowstone National Park lies one of the largest supervolcanoes on Earth. If it were to erupt, it could devastate the entire planet. Scientists say the magma chamber below contains enough material to fill the Grand Canyon multiple times. Recently, Unusual wildlife migrations have raised concern. Tens of thousands of elk have left Yellowstone earlier and in greater numbers than normal. Some experts attribute this to climate effects, but others believe animals can sense geological changes long before humans do. Increasing seismic activity, gas emissions, and new geothermal vents have prompted warnings from scientists. Yellowstone has been dormant for 630,000 years. But two of the three main warning signs have already been observed. The mystery of dreams. Dreams have long been one of the brain's greatest enigmas. Psychologists believe recurring dreams often reflect unresolved issues. For example, dreams of running. But being unable to lift your legs may symbolize insecurity or a sense of helplessness. Dreams of being chased might suggest avoidance, a subconscious push to confront hidden fears or truths. While theories differ, dreams are still regarded as a gateway into the subconscious where forgotten truths continue to echo. Mysterious wooden structures in Santa Fe National Forest. In recent years, rangers have discovered massive wooden constructions in the Santa Fe National Forest, some reaching 6 m tall and built from more than 1,000 logs. They appear overnight with no one knowing who built them. Authorities fear they pose a severe wildfire hazard, while some dismiss them as pranks. Their size and frequency suggest a coordinated effort. The U.S. Forest Service has stated that anyone caught will face a $5,000 fine. The true motive behind these structures remains unexplained. Mysteries beneath Antarctica. Antarctica, the least explored continent on Earth, has long been the focus of speculation. In 2006, NASA satellites detected a massive gravitational anomaly beneath Will's Land, spanning over 240 kilometers and plunging 760 m deep. Some believe it is the remnant of a giant meteorite linked to the Permian-Triassic extinction event. Others suggest the frozen continent hides something artificial. Satellite images have even revealed pyramid-like structures, leading some to believe they are man-made and older than the Egyptian pyramids. While scientists maintain these are simply eroded mountains, the debate continues. Newly discovered Earth-like worlds. NASA recently announced the discovery of planet GJ357d, located 31 light-years from Earth. Situated in the habitable zone, it may be capable of hosting liquid water. Astronomers described the find as a surprise gift as it was spotted while observing a different target. Other candidates include Kepler-20 Ferret, discovered in 2011, though nearly 1,000 light-years away. It has drawn attention for its rocky composition and water vapor-rich atmosphere. While beyond our current reach, such worlds continue to inspire hope for future habitable destinations. Dinosaurs alive in the Congo. In the Congo rainforest, explorers and local tribes tell of a creature called Mole Embi or Emla antuca. It is described as resembling a triceratops elephant-sized with a large horn and a heavy tail. Locals insist the animal is real, claiming it has attacked hippos and even elephants. 20th-century expeditions reported strange tracks, terrifying roars, and scars on elephants believed to be from the beast. Scientists argue it is likely a misidentified rhinoceros. Yet, cryptozoologists believe the unexplored regions of the Congo may still harbor prehistoric remnants. If you found these mysterious stories intriguing, be sure to share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss our next discoveries. We'll see you in the next video.